How well do you understand the current political situation in Sudan? Is it as straightforward as it seems, or a complex web of power plays? Sudan's political landscape is a vivid tapestry, rich in intrigue and complexity. At the heart of it is a tense partnership between the military and civilians. A delicate balancing act, this partnership has been strained with growing accusations of unrest and attempts to overthrow the government. This is more than just a power struggle. It's a struggle for the soul of a nation, a struggle to transition from a history of autocratic rule to a future of democratic governance. Yet the journey towards democracy is not a smooth road. It is paved with challenges and obstacles, one of them being the shadow of the past. Former regime loyalists, supporters of the ousted President Omar al-Bashir, are allegedly working to undermine this transition. Their methods, crafty and sly, they use social media to agitate for a military takeover, spreading skewed coverage of political events and promoting civil disobedience and protests. Speaking of social media, it has played a significant role in shaping public opinion in Sudan. It has become a battleground, a digital arena, where different factions vie for the hearts and minds of the Sudanese people. Case in point, Facebook has recently shut down 2 large networks that targeted users in Sudan. These networks, linked to the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces and supporters of al-Bashir, had millions of followers. They mimicked news media, spreading their political narrative and promoting their agenda. But it's not all doom and gloom. Sudan's Information Ministry, in collaboration with an independent research firm, has been proactive in combating these inauthentic pages. Facebook, for its part, has pledged to continue monitoring for any revival of these networks. As you can see, the political landscape in Sudan is a labyrinth of competing interests and influences. It's a tangle of power plays and political maneuvering, of old loyalties and new aspirations. But amidst this complexity, one thing is clear: the people of Sudan are resilient and their quest for democracy is unwavering. The political saga in Sudan took a dramatic turn with the ousting of longtime President Omar al-Bashir. What led to his downfall? Omar al-Bashir, a name synonymous with Sudan's political landscape for nearly 3 decades, found his reign abruptly halted in early 2019. The seeds of his downfall were sown in the fertile ground of public discontent. Frustrated by economic hardships, alleged corruption, and a lack of political freedom, millions of Sudanese citizens took to the streets in a show of unified protest against Bashir's regime. These protests marked a turning point in Sudan's history. The sheer magnitude of public opposition was impossible to ignore, and it became increasingly clear that Bashir's grip on power was slipping. The military intervened, ostensibly siding with the people. The army, once a pillar of Bashir's rule, turned against him, and in April 2019, he was ousted from power. Bashir's removal was met with a mixture of jubilation and apprehension. The joy of his departure was tempered by the uncertainty of what would follow. The power vacuum left in the wake of his ousting birthed a multitude of factions, each vying for control. Among these groups were those who supported a return to military rule, a sentiment that echoes the divisive politics under Bashir's regime. The aftermath of Bashir's removal was far from the democratic utopia that many had hoped for. Instead, it ushered in a period of political instability, with a fragile transitional government wrestling for control against the remnants of Bashir's regime and other powerful factions. The struggle for democracy had just begun. Bashir's exit marked the end of an era, but it also set the stage for a power struggle that continues to shape Sudan's political landscape. In the wake of Bashir's removal, Sudan found itself on the path to democracy. But how smooth has this journey been? The transition to democracy has been anything but smooth. The power vacuum left by Bashir's departure led to a tug-of-war between the military and civilian governments. On one side, the military with its strongman tactics; on the other, civilians with their demand for democratic governance. The tension between these two entities remains a significant hurdle on Sudan's path to democracy. A part of this struggle also includes the influence of external actors. International powers, with their geopolitical interests and agendas, have been observed to sway the course of Sudan's political trajectory. This influence often manifests itself in the form of political pressure, economic sanctions, or even covert operations. But amidst this complex web of power dynamics, the role of public protests in demanding democratic governance cannot be understated. The Sudanese people, having tasted the bitterness of autocracy for decades, have embraced their role as active participants in their political destiny. The streets of Sudan have become a battleground where the fight for democracy is waged daily. Their demands for freedom, justice, and a civilian-led government continue to echo across the nation. Public protests have become a beacon of hope for the Sudanese people. They stand as a testament to the collective power of the people and their unwavering demand for a democratic future. Despite the risks, the people of Sudan continue to take to the streets, armed with their voices and their unwavering belief in the possibility of a democratic Sudan. In the face of all these challenges, the spirit of the Sudanese people remains unbroken. Their resilience is a beacon of hope in the tumultuous journey towards democracy. They continue to navigate the choppy waters of transition, propelled by their desire for a democratic future. The journey towards democracy is fraught with challenges, but the Sudanese people remain hopeful and resilient. In this digital age, social media platforms have become battlegrounds for public opinion. But what role has social media played in Sudan's political saga? Social media platforms like Facebook have become powerful tools in shaping public opinion, and Sudan is no exception. These platforms have been employed by various factions to advance their narratives and vie for public support. But as with any tool, social media can be used for both noble and nefarious purposes. In recent months, Facebook has shut down 2 large networks that were specifically targeting users in Sudan. One of these networks had ties to the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, while the other was associated with supporters of former President Omar al-Bashir, who were advocating for a military takeover. These networks were using inauthentic pages to mimic established news outlets and disseminate skewed coverage of political events. The role of social media in this context is not just limited to shaping public opinion. It has also been instrumental in mobilizing protests and promoting civil disobedience. The networks that were taken down by Facebook had millions of followers and were actively encouraging acts of dissent. Some of the posts were even directly aimed at Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok, advocating for the return of Bashir. But the story doesn't end with the shutdown of these networks. Both Facebook and an independent research firm hired by Sudan's Information Ministry continue to monitor the platform for any signs of revival. This is a testament to the ongoing struggle between those who seek to use social media as a tool for democracy and those who would use it to undermine the same. This dynamic illustrates the double-edged nature of social media. On one hand, it can be an empowering platform for citizens to voice their opinions and mobilize for change. On the other hand, it can also be a breeding ground for misinformation and manipulation. Social media, for better or worse, is now a crucial player in Sudan's political landscape. With the current state of affairs, what does the future hold for Sudan's political landscape? A question that echoes in the hearts of many, and one that we'll try to delve into. As we look ahead, we see a road riddled with challenges and opportunities alike. The political tensions present in Sudan today are palpable, a testament to the tumultuous journey the nation has been on. Yet, amidst the chaos, a beacon of hope emerges: the public's unwavering desire for democratic governance. The role of social media in this journey cannot be understated. As we've seen in recent events, platforms like Facebook have become arenas for public opinion, a tool for both unification and division. The power these platforms wield is immense, and their influence on the political landscape is undeniable. It's a double-edged sword, one that can either foster dialogue and understanding or fuel misinformation and conflict. Yet even within this digital battlefield, the voice of the Sudanese people rings clear and loud. Their yearning for a democratic Sudan, a nation where their voices are heard and their rights upheld, is a force to be reckoned with. It's a desire that transcends political affiliations and societal divisions, a shared dream that binds the populace together. But the road to democracy is not one Sudan can tread alone. The international community plays a crucial role in this narrative. By providing support and championing democratic principles, they can help steer Sudan towards a future where democracy is more than just a dream, but a lived reality. This journey is fraught with uncertainty, but remember, every step taken is a step closer to the destination. The road ahead may be long and arduous, but the resolve of the Sudanese people is unyielding. They've weathered storms before, and they'll weather whatever comes their way. Sudan's political future may be uncertain, but one thing is clear. The Sudanese people are determined to shape their own destiny. So as we look ahead, we see not just a nation in flux, but a people ready to rise, to fight, to carve out a future they can proudly call their own.